Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United versus Aston Villa preview in the Carabao Cup. Stay tuned as we build up an irrelevant tournament into something that actually matters. I'm sorry to be cynical, but I really do not feel that this tournament matters to Manchester United. Hence my team selection on the left, which has to start. I mean, look, I know on Sunday we play Fulham and then that's it. That's the break for the World Cup. But that doesn't mean we should go and play the first team again so that basically our first team is played every 3 days for 6 weeks. I do think that Fulham is such a big game that we have to rest. And people will go, well, what's the point, Goldbridge? At the end of the day, you know, we've only got to play Fulham and that's it. But these players are tired. We've seen it on Thursday night where we played Sociedad and then we went to Villa Park and we lost. If we play Thursday night at Old Trafford with the first team and then we take them to Craven Cottage on Sunday, we will probably lose again. We have got to rest the vast majority of that first team for what is an essential 3 points against Fulham. The priority this week is to get 3 points against Fulham and give us an opportunity when we come back from the World Cup to build and get top 4. So the Carabao Cup, can Carabao do one as far as I'm concerned? Actually, that sounds like something else, doesn't it? Carabao do. Yabba dabba do. Yabba dabba do one. Carabao do one. Anyway, look, yeah, we're playing Aston Villa. I think that the flip side to this coin is that Aston Villa will take it seriously. I know they've got a game on Sunday as well. They're away at Brighton. If you look at Aston Villa in the league, they're only 6 points off Brighton. So with Unai Emery in charge, maybe Aston Villa can, get a bit of run, get a bit of rhythm and start to, climb that table. But I think that Villa would be foolish not to take Thursday night seriously because Brighton's a tough place for them to play anyway, whether they rest first team players or not. I'm sure there will be a bit of rotation from Aston Villa, but I expect them to go strong. They have not got European football. They are not going to get European football and not in a league position. So the Carabao Cup is a chance for silverware and a bit of excitement. And I think Emery will take it seriously because you can guarantee Emery will want to play European football with Aston Villa at some point in his reign. Now that sounds unachievable, but that will be the focus. And what better way to do that than in the Carabao Cup? So I expect Aston Villa to come and field a strong team on Thursday night, but I would resist copying that if I was Eric Ten Hag, because personally I think, as we saw, we got the draw yesterday against Barcelona in the Europa League. If you win that game, you only go to the last 16. You don't go to the quarterfinals. So even beating Barcelona will only put us into the last 16 of the Europa League. 9 games to win the Europa League, basically, from this point. You want to add in the Carabao Cup and a race for top 4 as well. I know we're greedy. I know we want things. But what happens when you spread yourself too thin? Imagine you've only got a little bit of butter left in the tub and you've got 4 pieces of toast to butter, right? Little bit of butter or margarine or low-fat spread. You've got to butter 4 pieces of toast, yeah? And you've only got enough for one, really. You've got the Premier League piece of toast, the Europa League piece of toast, the Carabao piece of toast, and the FA Cup piece of toast. Are you going to are you going to just share that little bit of butter across all 4 and none of them are satisfying? Or are you just going to butter one bit of toast, give it out, and someone goes, that's a bloody good piece of toast? And I think United can't spread themselves too thinly. So it's got to be bye-bye to the Carabao Cup and focus on the Europa League and the Premier League. And even that, we probably can't focus on. But the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, forget about it. We can't do it. We cannot do it. Forget about it. Forget about it. We can't do it. We can't focus on 4 trophies. And the Carabao Cup is the weakest of the one. And it's an immediate thing that we need to look at. Because if we were to play Ronaldo, Martinez, Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Ericsson, and anybody else, Delo, if we were to play all these players against Aston Villa on Thursday night, they're going to be tired on Sunday against Fulham. And that's the priority this week. It is the 3 points. I've just realised I made a big mistake. Actually, I probably haven't. So let's have a look at the Manchester United lineup. This is how I would line up. Now, I've put Wan-Bissaka here. Crazy? Yeah, I'm unorthodox. But no, I think that I'd keep De Gea in goal. He probably will play Dubravka, but I've kept De Gea in goal because I'm of the opinion that goalkeepers can play every game. And the more games De Gea plays, the better he gets at the Ten Hag system. It is about time. And the more games he plays, the better. So I would play De Gea. He'll probably play Dubravka. Now, the interesting thing here is you've got to rest Martinez. Martinez has to have a rest. He had a bad game against Villa. He's played so many games, and more importantly, he's played so many games with so many different partners. I've played the game. I've always said Martinez is not good enough. I've played the game. He's not good enough. But you know what, Graham? He's played a lot of games, and he's playing with different centre-back partners every 3 or 4 days. He needs a rest. And what we need from Martinez is hunger. Hunger for the Fulham game. And let's not forget, these are the last two. This is a really important consideration. This is the second last game before the World Cup. Do you think it's worthwhile picking Martinez or Casemiro or Marcus Rashford against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup a week out from the start of the World Cup? Do you really think they're going to go full tilt? It's a dead rubber game where you can rest them for the big game, which is Fulham, where you probably can get a tune out of them because it's 1 week before the World Cup. I think it would be a mistake to play the first team in this game. So Martinez needs a rest, which therefore means you've got to play Maguire and Lindelof as your centre backs. So you can't put Lindelof at right back, which is what he might have done, and played Martinez. You can't do that. So he's got to play Wan-Bissaka. He could play Dalot. He could play Dalot because it's Dalot's last game before the World Cup. You could do that. But I'd play Wan-Bissaka because you're going to play Wan-Bissaka against Fulham. What he might do is pick Dalot, play Lindelof and Maguire, and then move Lindelof to right back and not use Wan-Bissaka at all against Fulham or Villa. But I would play Wan-Bissaka and I'd play Lindelof and Maguire as centre-backs. And then Malacia at left-back to give Luke Shaw a rest. And that way, you're resting Martinez and Luke Shaw for the Fulham game. Happy days. Into the midfield, you can rest Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno. You could play Bruno in this game because he missed the game at the weekend. But it still doesn't serve the purpose because if Bruno plays on Thursday and then he plays on Sunday, it's 2.5 days later, he could still be tired. So I'd keep Bruno back for Fulham so he's super ready. I'd play Donny van der Beek, Fred and McTominay and rest Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno entirely. Maybe give Bruno the second half, but I would keep them rested. And then you've achieved something else. You've got Luke Shaw rested, Martinez rested, Casemiro rested, Eriksen rested, Bruno rested. That's half a team rested already for a massive game against Fulham. Sancho and Anthony, I don't know whether they're going to be back, but Anthony's been called up to the Brazil World Cup squad, so I presume he's going to be, and he can bloody well play. Sancho, again, you've got a massive big break coming up for yourself. You're not going to the World Cup, and you're probably not going to start against Fulham either, so get yourself better and play against Villa. And then up front, I'd go with Martial, because Martial's not going to the World Cup either, and Martial needs game time, and we need to be able to rest Ronaldo and Rashford. And therefore, I have now rested Ronaldo, Rashford, Eriksen, Bruno, Casemiro, Shaw, Martinez. 7 players I've rested, and really the goalkeeper doesn't count. So 8 players rested. Happy days. Mission accomplished. That is what I would do, because that Fulham game is so important. And in the grand scheme of things, do you want to win the Carabao Cup? Let me know in the comments. I would like us to win something because we haven't done it for years, but this is not the season to prioritise the Carabao Cup. Not in a season like this. Not when you've got a World Cup in the middle of the season and most of your players are going to the World Cup. Not when the squad's been hampered by injury and lack of depth for the first 3 months of the season and it's knackered. And not when you know the last 5 months of the season are going to be relentless as well. The Carabao Cup for me is a tournament where you make changes and you basically say to Malacia, Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Fred, Donny, McTominay, Sancho, this is a chance for you to play. This is your platform to get back in the first team. Win this game, get yourself to the next round, you'll play again. I would say that. I think he's got to do that. And if these players perform and they knock us through, they get us through, well done. And a team like that's good enough to beat Villa, by the way. It's at Old Trafford. There will be a good crowd there. It's the last game at Old Trafford before Christmas, before the World Cup. There will be a good crowd there. And that front three of Martial, Sancho and Anthony, if it wasn't for injury and illness, you'd go, ooh, that's an exciting front three. But they're all coming back from various issues. Give him a run out. Donny, 3 starts in a row. Some people have given up on him. Give him a run out. McFred, people have given up on them. Give him a run out. Maguire, give him a run out. Malacia, give him a run out. You see what I say? Give him a run out. This is what the squad is. Is this not what the squad is? Apparently we've got a really good squad. Well, I've just made 7 changes to rest people and we brought players in. Give them a bloody run out. Give them a run out. Simple as that. And that's what I would do. In fact, actually, if you pick that team, there's only Lindelof and De Gea who started against Villa. So you're actually resting 9 players. Quick maths. There you go. Oh, no, obviously Donny started as well, so 8. But no, I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way to go. I don't know whether Ten Hag's going to do it, by the way. He may well not. He may well think, I'm not going to make those changes. I'm going to go strong. I want to try and win the Carabao Cup. At the end of the day, apart from, can I just give you a little secret here? Apart from silverware, what's the point in the Carabao Cup? If you win the Carabao Cup, don't you go in the Conference League? We don't want to be in that. So it's a load of games to win a tournament that puts you in the Conference League, which we don't want to be in. So at the end of the day, it's a load of games to win a piece of silverware. Am I right in saying that it's still a 2-legged semi-final as well? Just jog on from this. Avoid this. This is a chance to save yourself some energy after Christmas. So, look, let's put this team out against Villa. If it wins and it goes through to the next round, put this team out again and keep resting. I mean, there's no problem with us winning, by the way. All I'm saying is don't play the first team. If the reserves win and keep winning, well done. It's a bonus, but really, don't play the first team. Now, is that team good enough to beat Aston Villa? I would say Aston Villa will pick pretty much the same players. The Dignes, the Matty Cashers, the Watkins, the Ramseys. I think they'll pretty much go the same. Obviously, they've got a few rotation options. They might play Danny Ings and whoever else. But I think that we can beat Aston Villa with that team. I do. And I don't think that I don't really think that Mings and Konza are impenetrable. I think you can get at them. I wouldn't be surprised if we beat them with that team. I mean, look, there's a lot of internationals in that team. Harry Maguire starts for England. Victor Lindelof starts for Sweden. Malacia's in the Dutch squad. McTominay starts for Scotland. Fred's in the Brazil squad. And Martial, Sancho, Donny. Anthony's in the Brazil squad. Martial, Sancho, Donny, they've all been in their international squad. So I'd throw them that bone. I'd say, go on, there's your incentive. Go and have a chew, and we might win. And I tell you what, I hope we do win, and I hope those players do perform, because I'd be really happy about that. But also, I'd also be really happy knowing that we've rested a load of players for Sunday, which is the priority this week. So, look, I don't think we're throwing the game. I don't think that's in our DNA. I don't think it's in our DNA, but I do think we've got to rotate, and I do think we need fresh players for Sunday, because I tell you what, if we do pick the strongest team we can pick against Aston Villa on Thursday, we're walking into another beating against Fulham at Craven Cottage on Sunday. And we can't do that. We've got to go to Fulham on Sunday afternoon, and start hungry, aggressive and fit. And the only way you're going to do that is if Eriksen's not played for a week, Casemiro's not played for a week, Martinez hasn't played for a week, Rashford hasn't played for a week, Ronaldo hasn't played for a week. You've got to rest as many players as you can, Luke Shaw as well. So, yeah. And as I said before, I don't know about this World Cup thing, and thank God we won't have to talk about it much anymore. But I think it's completely human nature that if you've been picked for Brazil or England and you're playing in a Thursday night Carabao Cup first round tie, or the first game you can play in the Carabao Cup, and you know you're playing for your country in 10 days in a massive tournament, are you going to really push it on a Thursday night in a Carabao Cup tie? You're not. Therefore, you're much better off picking Sancho, Martial, Lindelof, Donny, McTominay, these people who are not going to the World Cup, who actually will probably be more motivated and put more in because they're not in danger of missing the World Cup. So, yeah, I think we've got to go like that. I can't really predict the result, because I don't think a team like that necessarily gets turned over by Villa, even if they play the same team as Sunday. I think it'll be an energetic team that we put out there with a home crowd. I think we could win it. In fact, I predict we'd probably win 2-1 with that team. Certainly, I think the front three could cause some problems. Jadon Sancho with a point to prove, Anthony with some fitness to prove ahead of the World Cup, Martial getting back up front, hopefully continuing what he's shown in glimpses already. McTominay and Fred got a point to prove. Donny as well, Maguire as well, Malacia as well. I think we could win it. I do. I really do. So, look, I just hope that we do put that team out and we give Villa a bit of a game, because I think we certainly can do. So that's my prediction and that's my thoughts. Make sure you get your comments in below. I'm back at 8 o'clock tonight as per usual. Actually, I think I'm back at 7 o'clock tonight, because Football Manager 23 starts tonight, the Goldbridge series, Goldbridge Ball. We're going to do that at 8 o'clock on Twitch. So I think I'm doing United Stand at 7 o'clock tonight. So I'll see you then. Make sure you get involved. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Give me your comments below. Maybe you think we should go strong in the Carabao Cup. Maybe you think we should just play people like Garnacho and Iqbal, which we could do. You know, I've gone relatively strong with the reserves there. I must just add, you could water it down even more. You could play Elanga. You could play Garnacho. You could play Iqbal. You could bring a Charlie Savage in. There's a few. You could do that as well. And you know, I don't know whether he would do that, but you know, I think that team's absolutely fine. Give us your comments below. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching.